Assalamu alaikum. This is a topic related to the scatter diagram and regression line. Briefly, scatter diagram is basically a way to find out the relation between two variables, that either they are correlated or not correlated, right? The correlation can be find out mathematically and graphically. So what is a way of graphically representing the correlation? That is the scatter diagram. The scatter diagram shows us the rough idea, either the two variables are positively correlated, negatively correlated, or there is no correlation. Like over here the diagram, the scatter diagram has been plotted between any two variables. If we look at the first one, first diagram here, this is this is showing a very good negative correlation. Now what is important, that the correlation value varies from -1 to +1, right? So if something is -1, that means it's totally uh, negatively perfect correlated. +1 means perfect positive correlated. When I say positive correlation, that means if one value increases, the other also increases. If one decreases, the other also decreases. When I say the negatively correlated, like these two, then that means when one value is positive, the other value is negative, means if one is increasing, the other is decreasing. So by looking at the scatter diagram, we can have an idea. Like over here, it looks like still we cannot say that it's a straight line or not, but it looks like a very good straight line going in the other downward direction. So this is a perfect negative correlation example. Here the pattern is downward, but it's not in a very straight linear line. So yes, it's a negative correlated, but not exactly minus zero point 0.8. It can be minus zero point 0.8, it can be minus zero point 0.7. By looking at the diagram, I can say this thing. Yes, when I will apply the mathematical formula, then I can find out what is actually the value is. If some value is over here like this, it's written here no correlation, but it's better to write here it's that there is no. Yes, in this diagram we can say there is no correlation because it's totally haphazard. But for example, if I have some diagram where the scatter points are something like this, okay, so although it's neither positive nor negative, but yes, it's making somewhere non-linear. So it's a non-linear correlation, means there the correlation is not existing in a linear form. It can be non-linear. The non-linear, there are again many variety, but we are not going into depth. So this is the concept of scatter diagram. It tells us about the relation between the two variables. Now if our data is given to us and we are asked to plot the scatter diagram, what is a way to do it is you just um, on a paper mark the two axes, x-axis and y-axis, right? On the x-axis, take x value. Mostly prefer to take the independent variable, but if some data is given like this where the independent dependent is not given, so whatever is x given, take x on the x-axis, y on the y-axis. Make sure you marked all the points with the equal distance using the scale or ruler, right? Use a scale and then keep the equal distance over here. Okay, so x values is going from 122 to 168. So let's say if I make a jacket over here and I say that this value will be, okay, so this value I say it's going from for example 120, 124. I'm moving with a distance of 2 2, right? 128, 132, 134, 138, no, 134, 136, 140, right? Then 144, 148, 152, 156, 160, and then 164, 168. Do mark with the ruler, okay? Put the ruler here and then put the equal marks here. Similarly for the y, it's just take the minimum value, which is 29, and the maximum value is in 60s, right? So I can again I can even like to do this: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So it's up to you. Okay, whatever uh, steps you want to take. Okay, so 122 with 41. So 122 will be somewhere over here, and 41, 10, 20, 30, 40, 41 will be over here. Just put the dot over here, right? Just a dot. Okay, then the next value is 124 with 38. 124 with 38. Okay, I am putting another dot. Okay, then 133. 133 will be here. Okay, 134 here, so 133 here with 52. 52. 132 with 52. So just mark all the points by using the dots: 138, 56, 144, 29, 1. I take more thick dots so it will be very obvious. Okay, purposely I have taken the thick one. So 156, 156 will be here with 54. Okay, 158 with 54, 59, 161 with 61, and then 63, and then 68. Okay, it's little bit not so accurate because 70 goes here, so it should all be down. But anyways, I'm just telling you how to make a scatter diagram. So this is a way to make a scatter diagram. Do not mark any lines over here, do not connect them with lines. Just leave it as it is. This is your scatter diagram, right? So yes, sometimes question is being asked that what result you are deducing from it. So what result you are deducing? That yes, it's movement, or it's the pattern is following somewhere like this in this direction, right? So I'm sure that, because if I make a line which try to join maximum number of point, it will be something like that. So I'm sure that when later I will do the mathematical working on the same data, similar data, and I will try to find out the correlation between these 2 points. The correlation value firstly is definitely a positive, and this correlation, what I feel, the answer should come somewhere between zero point 0.6 to 0.8, what I feel by looking at this diagram. So yes, a question can be asked, okay, what do you deduce from this scatter diagram? So your answer should be that the scatter diagram shows that it's there is a correlation, and there's a definitely a positive correlation. That's it. You cannot give these values by looking at the scatter diagram. You can just tell it's a positive, that's it, but you cannot further define what value it is. Okay, the second thing I am connecting with this, because with the scatter diagram two things can be connected: a regression line, or can be the correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient I'm covering in the next video. This is about the scatter diagram and the regression line. So if you are asked to find the regression line of y on x, it's very simple. You just need to memorize one or two formula, and that's it. So first of all, y on x means y is equals to a plus bx. What is basically the regression line? Have you seen the yellow one I have made? If I made it with the scale, so this is known as a regression line, which we a plus bx, which we find out to do some kind of prediction, and to find out the missing values, right? So this is also known as the best fitted line. Okay, and one most important property it carries, that this line should definitely pass through a point which is the average of the two data, right? This regression line must pass through that point. Okay, Now this is when we are asked to find the regression line, then that means this is our task to find out. So what we actually need to find out in that, we need to find out a value and b value. So remember, this should be your first step and this should be your second step. Okay, so how can I find the b value? The formula for the b value, which is the coefficient of x, coefficient or the gradient, that is n summation xy minus summation x into summation y, all right, upon its y on x. So its x is independent, right? So obviously write independent value down there. So this is n summation x square minus summation x whole square. That's it. So you just need to memorize this formula. Then these value you can find out through table. So what actually I need? N is how many values over here? If I count them, I have 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So n is 10 over here, right? So n is 10. I need the value of summation xy, summation x, summation y upon 10 into summation x square minus summation x the whole square, and I will get the value of b. So let's start with summation x, summation y. Summation x, summation y means the sum of this value. You can even find out these sum through calculator if you plug in these x y value over there. The sum of x value is 1468, that is the value of summation x. The sum of y value is 520. So these values will be substituted over here: 1468, 1468 and 520. Okay, and summation x whole square. So summation x is basically 1468. This comes over here. Now what is left? Xy. I need the sum of xy. So just make the column of xy. Xy means you need to multiply 122 with like 41. Uh, that gives you 5002. Then the next value will be 4712 and so on. So when I add them up, I will have answer 77689. Okay, so this is the value of what? Summation xy. Summation means sum xy column. So 77689 I will plug in over here. Okay, and here I need the summation x square, so just use one more column, x square. Okay, this is 122 square. So 122 square is basically 1414884. Then it's 124 square, which is 15376. So you can write all x square value here and get the sum over here. This sum is 2180 This value I will put it over here, 218070. So when you simplify it, you will have 0.52695. So first step done. You need to find the b value. Now the target is to find the a value. So we know that the equation regression line is y is equals to a plus bx. Now b value I know, y is equals to a plus 0.52695 into x. So I need to find out a value. How can I find out? I can find out a value if I have y and x value. Do I have any point of y and x? Don't take these points, because the line which I am finding out over here, the yellow one, might not be passing through each and every point. It might be passing through few points but not all. But yes, there is one point from where it is passing, that is the mean point. So let's find out the mean. So how can I find out the mean? X bar is summation x upon n. So that is 1468 upon 10. So this is 146.8, or y bar is equal to summation y upon n. So this is 520 upon 10. This is 52. Okay, so these are to the means value. So now mean value is just like a points, right? So it's 146.8 and 52. These coordinates I will plug in over here. So this is 52. A I don't know, B I have now 52695, X is now equivalent to what? X bar. These points I will put it over here and then put all the thing in calculator. Get the value of A is minus 25.356. Okay, so this is the A value. A value means y intercept value. So the overall regression line is y is equals to minus 25.356 plus 0.5269x. So this is the overall regression line. Further in paper, a question can come where once you have find the regression line, okay, what will be the value of y when x is any number, like x is 17, x is 137, x is 200. So any x value can be given, and on that x value you have to calculate y. So if I look over there, this is a positive gradient and the y-intercept is negative. That means obviously this is a rough sketch, it's not the exact one. So if I make it more proper, so it's going to be cut the y-axis at what value? Minus 25, and the gradient is positive. That's correct. So right now it looks it's passing through a positive y-intercept, which is obviously it's a rough sketch. That's why I can see in that way. Otherwise regression line is giving me the right one. Okay, hope it's clear.